Again, I am EnPTinio, and if you follow me, you know that I am an environmental planner since 2018, answering two questions from the email of a former student about the use of climate data in local government planning. So, I helped the municipality of Tiwi and also some other municipalities through an individual consultant then produce climate resilient plans, and I hope to share my knowledge on these two questions. So first, in Tagalog, mahalaga po ba ang climate data sa municipal planning? Kung oo, saan po nagmula ang mga datos na ginagamit at paano rin po particular na ginagamit ang mga datos na ito? So in my experience, I believe that climate change data and climate data projections thereafter are very important and should be the primary basis for local government planning. We should not plan without data, and climate data is one of the most important data sets that we should be able to understand as local government planners. Climate affects different aspects of our lives and as such should be foundational in our local government planning. So saan nagmumula ang datos? So most of these climate data in difference to differently from weather data, climate data are generally from projections of Pag-asa as the official agency of the Philippines. So most of these data are published by Pag-asa and cascaded to the local government units for their planning purposes. So, uh, paano particular na ginagamit ito? In my experience, this is most often used as input to the climate and disaster risk assessment process, which is towards analyzing the situation of the local government unit. So, the rainfall projections and the temperature projections of the local government unit helps understand and plan for scenarios in terms of agricultural produce, productivity, even building structures that need to withstand certain wind uh, wind magnitudes. So those are just two examples of how planning is affected or influenced by climate. So there again, please let me check my audio. If you can hear me, please send me a like or send me a smile. So again, that's the first question that I am answering. Mahalaga po ba ang climate data? Yes, climate data is very important because it climate affects every aspect of human life and as such should be a foundation of local government planning. Secondly, second question, may datos ang pag-asa tungkol sa climate extremes? Nagagamit po ba ito sa pagpaplano? And how is this used? So, the Manila Observatory, in coordination with Pag-asa, published the Philippine Climate Extremes Report and contains different datasets or projections of the climate, how extremes of the climate will change in different timelines. So, ano ba yung mga climate extremes? These are the highest and lowest temperatures in a given day, or the length of the droughts and dry spells, and also the projected frequency of these events. Paano ba ito nagagamit? Personally, I have not used it because it is relatively new. However, yung Pag-asa report in 2015 also contained some information on projections about rainfall and temperature, and these data were used to understand or build scenarios in terms of planning in the local government. So for example, because of in a certain province, kung ikaw halimbawa ay taga Cebu at alam mo na yung iyong rainfall ay maaaring mabawasan o madagdagan ng ganito kataas o kababa in comparison to your current rainfall amount na nare-receive, you will need to adjust your water productivity, water security, or even water demand. So, also in terms of agriculture, we may need to research faster on high yield crops that do not need as much water as they need right now. So, ang answer is yes, nagagamit siya, but yung particular report na yun which was just published recently, I personally have not used it. However, malaking bagay yung climate data and climate applications na nilalabas ng Pag-asa dahil ang local government, they do not have the technical knowledge as much as Pag-asa in terms of generating climate data. What the local government should be doing is interpreting and analyzing the influences or the impacts of these projections in their planning processes. So, halimbawa, yun nga, kung mababawasan ang marireceive mong rainfall amounts in the coming decades, we need to plan our water network and also water demand, not only on the supply side but also on the demand side. So these two questions are important because we need to understand that planning is not just a political exercise but also a technical exercise. However, like anything else, data is also political. So the secrecy or the opaqueness of opacity of data is hindering for our local planners in terms of creating more climate resilient plans. So there, I've answered two questions from my former student. Now I'm MS3 meteorology student. First, mahalaga ba ang climate data and saan nagmumula ang datos na ginagamit? Most of the LGUs depend on Pag-asa as their official data. Secondly, nagagamit ba ang Climate Extremes Report? I personally have not used it, but it should be integrated by local governments in their local government planning processes. So, climate data planning, climate change adaptation planning can be helped or can be assisted by the national government and is being assisted by the national government through the availability of web platforms and also the availability of different booklets and guides. So meron kang Climate and Disaster Risk Assessment Guide from DILG and DSUD. Meron ka ring platform ng DOST which is GeoRisk PH, and also meron ka ding Project NOAA in terms of the academe naman. So these are some free websites that you need to that you can explore as local government planners or even as climate researchers. Okay? So punta lang siguro tayo sa website ng Climate Change Commission, and hopefully the Climate Change Commission can provide a directory, not even a hub, but a directory of the different agencies that already host the different web platforms. I have a short list of these web platforms at my website EnPTinio.com. So search nyo lang doon websites LGU, lalabas na yung some of the a list of some of the free web platforms of our Philippine government in terms of local government planning and including na yung climate data. So there, hopefully this relive has given you value in terms of the use of climate data in city and municipal planning. On Thursday at 4:30 p.m. I will answer two more questions about the use of climate data in city and municipal planning. See you.